I call this meeting to order. We have a few items to discuss in executive session, so
Need a motion to recess into executive session under 551.0.
So moved.
a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Anyone not involved in this matter, please. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. The time is now 6:55, and we reconvene from executive session to open session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There was no action done in executive session that we need to take in open session. There's no action taken at all.
Okay. Item number 2, general manager report.
Just the financial report, Mr. Chairman, very short.
Yes, in the interest of time, I'll make it very short. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Garcia, I'll be doing the Chief Financial Officer of Brownsville TV. I'll be going over the financial performance report as of February 28, 2010. I'm going to start on slide 5 here, comparing our last year, current year budget, and current year actual net operating revenues, gross revenues, and adjusted gross revenues. Adjusted gross revenues have been actual 55.1 versus 40.3, budgeted and 40.1 last year's 2009 numbers. On the fuel and energy cost, we are continuing to experience lower than expected fuel cost, 18.7 versus 27.1 budgeted. O&M expenses continue to be below budget, 21.3 versus 24.5. And I do want to highlight for you, as a result of recent weather patterns, our electric sales have been in line with prior year and the 5-year average. But on the water side, water sales have been below both the 5-year average and 2009 levels. That red line there is for the month of January and February. In February, we achieved 408,000 gallons versus 490, 570, or 676 in 2009. I do want to say that also for March, that number dropped even lower to 462. So as a result, we are seeing lower than expected revenues on the water side. As of February, we're running a deficit of 318,000. That compares with the 2009 deficit of about 98,000. So we have, as of February, and as of March, it might get even bigger. So we're hoping here that the impact going into the April, May, and June of the weather will not be as unfavorable. Same thing with wastewater. Wastewater consumption or flows follow the water pattern. They have been below 2009 levels. They did take a drop as well in March from 341 down to 327. So we'll see lower than expected revenues and wastewater also in March. The precipitation levels is what's causing the I guess less water use. We had up to 4 inches in February. We did see less rain in March, but nonetheless it still affected consumption. Temperatures have been rather cool. As you can see there, for February, 59 degrees versus all other 3 amounts. The medium average for 2009 of 64, as well as the 5-year average mean temperature and the 5-year max temperature. We do continue to fare favorably with other local utilities. For the month of February, we were slightly higher than Dynawatt. As you can see there, the 4th one from the right, but if you look at the 12-month average, we have been below all the other utilities in the area. One of the things that helps us is our ability to adjust our fuel factor on a monthly basis. I do want to report that for the month of April, we did lower the fuel factor down to 3.8 cents. We'll be looking at some favorable comparisons here for April and perhaps in May and moving forward. When we compare to other municipalities, we're in line. When you compare the 12-month average with other utilities, CPS, third one there from the left, as well as New Brownsville's do continue to be lower than PUB and other municipals, but we do compare favorably with other utilities. On the CIP side, we've added the ARA grant commitments here in this slide. So the total expended and obligated $66 million includes those ARA grant contracts, and the $103 million includes the anticipated spending here through the remainder of the year. So we're at about 64% of the 64% of the spending plan for 2010. This slide just shows the distributions from Southmost, which continue the same pattern as discussed in prior months. That concludes the financial presentation.
Mr. Garcia. Item number 3, consideration of possible approval of his sponsorship for the historic Brownsville Open event to be held April 20th through 25th, 2010. Mr. Mariano Binayala.
Mr. Chairman, fellow board members, public, my name is Mariano Binayala. I'm probably the president and CEO of your Brownsville Convention Visitors Bureau. A year and a half ago, the Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau was out trying to figure out a way to bring exposure to the fantastic, wonderful city of Brownsville. We had an opportunity to partner up with the Durham at Futures Tour, LPGA Development Tour, that was having a golf tournament held in McAllen called the Jalapeno Classic. We went ahead and secured a 3-year contract to bring this tour down. The reason for this tour is to get international and national exposure for Brownsville. We feel that we have accomplished that last year. We had over 325 volunteers participate in this historic Brownsville Open. We had several sponsors. We had all 144 members of the Durham Med here in Brownsville. 28 different countries were represented. We had 8 staff members, 30 caddies. This generated over $300,000 for the city of Brownsville. But the beauty of it was that we succeeded in getting exposure. Someone says, well, how much did you lose in this tournament? This is not a fundraiser. This is an investment that the CVB took in order to put Brownsville on an international and national map. We had over 500,000 media impressions throughout the world. This was generated from hits, over 100,000 in the LPGA web page, the Durham at Futures page. What we're asking you for is for the PUB, Public Utilities Board, to once again partner up with the Convention and Visitors Bureau in marketing Brownsville on an international, national level. Last year, the PUB was the sponsor of the Junior Clinic. The Junior Clinic was held Thursday, April 19th at the Brownsville Golf Center. We had over 100 boys and girls from Brownsville learn and take lessons from 5 of these professional women. The sponsorship at that time was $5,000. We once again will remain at $5,000, and we are asking for the Brownsville Public Utilities Board to once again partner up with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And should you not decide to have the Junior Clinic, I will offer you the opportunity to sponsor the volunteer shirts, 300 of them. I'm here to ask the Brownsville Utilities Board to once again partner up with the Brownsville Convention Visitors Bureau in hosting the Brownsville Historic Open. That is my request for this evening.
Any comments, questions?
What's the cost of those 300 t-shirts?
Or what's the,
The shirts, there are nice shirts. We have 300 volunteers. We're looking at $5,000. And,
for that level of
yes, sir.
response?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
And I understand that you all always, Brownsville utility boards like to get exposure throughout the city. This would be a fantastic way to get that exposure, be community oriented, and these shirts will be worn for years to come. And that would be beautiful exposure and a partnership, because it will say Historic Brownsville Open, and we'll put the PUB logo also.
Last year, we sponsored them,
5,000.
5,000 last year.
Mr. Garcia, Mr. Buziak, how are we doing with numbers, reference to?
We're close to over budget on our sponsorships this year, and we would have, any addition, we'd have to amend the budget, come back and amend the budget. We plan to do that in May with a 6-month review, but we would need a budget amendment to cover this. I did provide you a sheet of where the expenditures have been.
Is there any way that, because I know we funded them and then we moved back, are they,
We didn't
But
get
we
billed,
approved it.
we didn't get billed last year until December, so.
till December? Is there any way we could work something out? Because definitely, I know we all want to help.
We'd have to amend the budget or get billed later in the year.
I would gladly bill you later in the year.
Well, I mean, it's very easily can do a budget amendment, and that's, takes care of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have to find the funds, where it should be from.
Well, I think we could find the funds. I make a motion that we look at becoming a partner with that 300
I
t-shirt.
say.
We have a motion and a second in discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Item number 4, consideration and approval to participate in the certificate of deposit account registry service with the Frost National Bank and open an account. Mr. Leandro Garcia.
Yes, this item seeks authorization to participate with Frost National Bank in the CEDARS program. The CEDARS program, as you know, provides an advantage for opportunities to PUB to invest large quantities of dollars through various banks throughout the U.S. So it is a very beneficial program. We do have representatives from the bank here. If you have any questions, they did do a presentation for the Finance Committee, and that was approved to move forward.
We used this program before, correct?
Yes, we have Falcon Bank participating now. We'd like to also.
Now we have broad banks available also?
Yes.
I have no problem with that. The committee, finance committee, we're in agreement basically.
They were satisfied with the participation and
Then I'd make a motion, we go ahead and approve the recommendation, participate in the CEDARS program with Frost National Bank.
I say.
We have a motion and a second in discussion.
I have a question. How much do you think we're going to invest in this particular program?
we're going to do a comparison of rates. They did provide us the rates that are available today, but we will continue to do comparisons between agency securities, investment pool, and the CD program, and invest probably core monies that we don't need right away over a 1 year, 2 year period, and see that provides us an advantage concerning the interest rate.
So we don't have a cap on how much we can invest?
No, I'm looking at probably, keeping it at 5 million or below.
Is there any way we can go ahead and put that in the approval as far as keeping it below 5 million?
We can, but if there's an advantage, if we do need to diversify and within the investment policy, minimize the percentages of the total portfolio, there may be a need to go even higher. But we'll I say assess it as we're ready to invest, whether it's more advantageous to do an agency security, the investment pool, or CDs.
And it's all FDIC insured?
It's all FDIC. The $250,000 does carry through December of 2013. After that, if it's unextended, it drops to $100,000, the old cap.
Any other question? There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item number 5, consideration and approval of consulting services for Penta to upgrade the customer information system.
Second, and this will be-
Mr. Hernandez.
PUB initially went live with the Cayenta Customer Information System, the CIS, in June of 2002 at a cost of approximately $4 million. PUB has done previous upgrades to the system in 2004 and 2006. Basically, we do the upgrades every 2 years. That's kind of how we schedule them. At this time, staff is recommending that PUB stay current and upgrade to the latest version for a total cost of $155,000. The project is scheduled to begin in May, should it be approved, and to last approximately 10 weeks, so we would finish up in the middle of July, beginning of August. This, for people who aren't aware, the CIS, the Customer Information System, is a system that has all the information on the customers. It's when people come in to apply, it's the system that actually does the billing, that receives all the revenue that comes in, that integrates with the all of the billing options, whether they're e-commerce or in-person, whatever. So it's a major system for us.
Been working?
Yes, it works very well. We'd like to keep it that
I'll
way.
make a motion to take the recommended action.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions?
Do we also have a maintenance cost on this system?
Yes, sir. We
A
pay
software maintenance?
annual maintenance.
Okay. So this upgrade, what major benefits are we going to get with this upgrade?
Let me see if I have them on the list here. Some of
I mean,
the,
just not all of them, just the top upgrade that really is pushing you to invest this amount of money. Because it seems like you're going through a whole conversion, update, and it's like a major task.
this one's not quite as expensive as the previous one, if I remember correctly, but it is a major upgrade for us. Basically, what we're paying for is the time and energy of the people for Cayenta to come down and help us install and test and implement the upgrade. As far as the upgrade itself, there are different things. We're trying to put in a dashboard. Well, before I get into the particulars, it's kind of like, to use a good analogy, it's kind of like Microsoft Office. Whether you like it or not, the software advances every couple of years, and in these kinds of systems, you have to keep up with them. So you can look at the features, and the features are nice, and there are some nice things in here that we like, but the more important aspect of it is that you have, in order to stay current, you have to do these upgrades, and if you don't, then basically the system becomes out of date, and then they won't warranty it anymore. Because they'll only keep, and this is the same with all software companies, they'll keep 2 or 3 versions alive, okay, because it's too expensive to be working on a version that's 10 years old or 8 years old. So you really have to stay current with them, but it really is to our advantage.
Well, in short, this is like the heart of the whole system here. I mean, it's billing and it's everything.
Customer service, billing, collections, meter reading, everything goes into it.
So that's really your main concern, is just staying within the warranty period?
Exactly.
And
We do
to get support if you have a software issue, and if you don't stay current, then you can go ahead and get into an issue where they won't support you.
Exactly, and it never works to your benefit, because I have seen other companies go out of date, and what happens is when something happens and you do come back and say, well, we need your help, say, okay, well, you need to get current. They say, okay, well, how much is that? Let's see, well, you need to do the upgrade for 2006, you need to do the upgrade for 2004. So they make you pay everything back, and it's that way with all companies. You've got to stay up, you've got to keep up. You can put it off for a little bit, but you can't put it off forever. And we have always chosen to stay current, so we're not in that kind of a situation. But you're exactly correct. It is a major system for us, and our concern is we just like to stay on top of it rather than let it fall behind.
Any other question? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consideration approval of bid award for the annual groundskeeping maintenance service. Mr. Garcia? 6. Consideration and approval of consulting services for phase 2 of the advanced metering infrastructure project. Sorry about that. Hernandez.
On September 14th, 2009, the board awarded a consulting contract to UtiliWorks Consulting to research the feasibility of PUB undertaking an advanced metering infrastructure project. The total amount of the services bid were $244,338, of which Phase 1 was approved. Phase 1 was $126,575. UtiliWorks has completed Phase 1 and delivered the report on time and on budget. At this time, PUB management and staff are recommending to proceed with Phase 2 of the project for an amount of $50,050. The report in Phase 1 has not been delivered to the board yet, and it is ready to be delivered to the board as soon as we can arrange a date with the board. And we would like to do that sooner than later. Phase 2 is to go out and to prepare the RFP, which we will then issue, and the various companies would respond to, and then they would help us review those RFPs. It does not commit the board to do the project itself.
Okay. We have a motion?
So move.
A motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 7, consideration of renewal of bid award for the annual groundskeeping maintenance services. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, based on the guidance we received from the board concerning performance bond and payment bonds, we did release an RFP and received 5 bids for 5 vendors. Staff has reviewed all the submittals and are recommending Maldonado Nursery and Landscaping of San Antonio for a grand total of $168,028. Any award by the board or the RFP does provide for 2 additional 1-year extensions if the board accepts this recommendation. We do have representatives from Maldonado Nursery here today if you have any questions. And just to give you a feel, the range was from 168,028 on up to 370,000. So big difference and a big savings that PUB would realize from this contract.
Maldonado has an office in McAllen, right? They're out of San Antonio, but I believe you said they had one in the valley in McAllen.
Yes, they are providing services in other areas up the valley. We did, staff did check on references and everything. Here's factory.
Since there's quite a bit of difference between them, the bids, I just wanted to make sure that we did have a reliable.
Yes, we did confirm with the company, concerning the bid, and they did confirm that it's what they wish to submit, and they will deliver the service.
How many years has Maldonado been in business?
Come on.
Board, it's 26 years.
Okay.
Did they comply with the PUB's requirement of the employees making a minimum of $8.50 an hour?
Yeah, staff will look into that, and they will comply with the prevailing wage, the earning wage.
This will include all the properties, the new ones and everything else?
Every site was listed in the RFP, the building, substation, water plants.
Come back with a change order for an increase in price?
Unless we add new sites and cycles, additional cycles, this responds to what PUB delineated in the
You don't
RFP.
see any new sites or anything else coming up?
If we do acquire property and it does pose a problem with maintenance, we add it, and then we'll negotiate. Diane, you want to answer that?
They did go to the different locations, and they viewed the sites, the substations, the lift stations, so they're aware of what they need to do.
Existing sites.
Right.
The RFP lists all the sites that are being done. It needs to be done.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the staff's recommendation and award the contract to Maldonado Nursery.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Discussion, questions?
They are bonded, right?
Yes, the next step will be to obtain all the necessary security documents.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item number 8, consideration and approval of bid award for annual supply of water and wastewater inventory material.
Diane Solitaire will take care of that.
Okay.
Good afternoon. The purchasing department opened bids on March 18th for the annual supply of water and wastewater inventory material. The bids were posted in the Herald and on our PUB webpage, and we faxed them to 38 vendors, and we had 12 vendors responding. Items number 90 and 91 are going to be canceled due to low usage, and the term of the contract is from April 2010 to April 2011. We did have some casting of lots, so I'm going to read the recommendations and then we'll do the casting of lots. So PUB staff recommends approval of the annual supply of water and wastewater inventory material to the following low bidders or bidders meeting specifications. Our Works Pipe and Supply of Brownsville in the amount of $484,724.24. HD Supply Waterworks of Brownsville in the amount of $802,131.83. Border States of Brownsville in the amount of $17,631.80. Morrison Supply of Brownsville in the amount of $132,480.16. Electrical Automation Supply of Brownsville in the amount of $4,199. Ferguson Supply of Mission in the amount of $178,066. ACT Pipe and Supply of Far Texas in the amount of $227,805.15. Blue Star Chemical of Edinburgh in the amount of $6,557.50. Almar Works of San Antonio in the amount of $5,360. And Aero Magnolia of Dallas in the amount of $8,355.60. For a total of $1,867,311.28. We have 18 items that we need to do casting of lots. So I'll call out the item number and Hugo will give you the envelope, or who?
You can just pass it around, each one can pitch or
Okay.
Lucia, whatever.
Okay. So for item number 6, just give it, I guess, to,
I'll pick her or something.
HD Supply Waterworks.
okay, item 30.
You want to, Mr. Guerra?
Just pass-
Pass it around, each one. There you go.
Item 30.
Item 30. I will work pipe and supply.
Item 33.
Hugo.
HD Supply Works.
Item 36.
HD Supply Waterworks.
Item 52.
Aqua Works, Pipe and Supply.
Item 66.
Aqua Works Pipe and Supply.
Item 176.
Aqua Works, Pipe and Supply.
Item 196.
What number, Dave?
196, I'm sorry.
I have two.
You
What's
pick
that?
one.
You
Yeah,
pick only one, you're supposed to pick one.
I took my first one. HD Supply Waterworks.
Item number 197.
197. HD Supply Waterworks.
Item 199.
199?
What is 199?
I got it. HD Supply Waterworks.
Item 226.
226 is HD Supply Waterworks.
Item 254.
254. HD Supply Waterworks.
Okay, item 401,
HD Supply Waterworks.
item 402,
Ferguson Supply.
item 403,
HD Supply and Waterworks.
item 404,
Go back around. 404, HD Supply and Waterworks.
item 405,
Ferguson Supply.
item 406,
Ferguson Supply.
and I believe that was all.
That's it.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Make a motion, we approve all the recommendations by staff and all the drawings, lots that we drew here.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, consideration and approval of board travel to Washington DC. John Bluesiak.
Chair, members of the board, we have a trip planned the end of the month to Washington to meet on our projects. We have funding requests in, meet with the state and federal agencies. The only thing I need to do is get a head count of the board members that would like to attend. That is the same week that the city of Brownsville is going as well, 27th through the 29th. And this is a preliminary schedule of the meetings that we have set up, subject to change.
And what's the amount of members that travel?
Well, we can't have any meetings at all with more than 3 people. And then if more than 3 people go, for instance, you couldn't go to dinner together in the evening because you would be discussing if they, I went last year on a trip, and I know that you have dinner with our lobbyists, discuss what happened that day, and who we talked to, had dinner with the congressman, and it's all discussions about the issues. So more than 3 people at dinner and having those discussions would constitute a meeting.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and say that I'm not, so.
Who will be interested in attending the Washington? We have, okay, Mayor Mata, Mr. Hinojosa, and Dr. Morales. Okay, so we have-
I was interested, but
I won't be able to attend, and I would like for the vice chairman to be there in lieu of my place. I will not be able to make it the end of this month, so I would strongly suggest that we have the vice chairman attend this meeting. And I would also encourage that the city's also going. I'd say to Mr. Amata, if you can attend with the city funds and get a board member to attend the meeting in Washington as far as possible.
I don't
Well,
think
my
that's
interest is
so
PUB projects, I think they're more valuable than anything else. The other stuff we get in the city, they're all like earmarks already, like for housing and stuff like that. We do customarily every year.
I would like to see
Like, for instance, IPWC interests me very, very much because the projects we're working on, the Department of Energy is another one, the Resaca's is also the city and PUB. So my role as mayor will be with PUB.
Yeah, I would say you couldn't go as mayor and not be part of the PUB. You'd have to be counted.
The mayor is the mayor.
Yes, exactly. Not the board, so you have to be counted as a member of the board, so.
Right, but the city's also going, John, you said?
That's correct. Same time, same date.
But that's my election.
So really, the only thing is, we could attend the meetings together, but we just couldn't socialize.
You can't
No.
afford
You can't
four
do that.
together.
Unless you post,
We
unless you
can't go to the meetings?
We can't host a meeting in Washington.
No, that's what, I know, but I mean, unless you post, you cannot do something like that. What happens, this is what happens, Art, because we do this every year. If there's more than the quorum, what you do is you rotate. the bodies there. Like, you'll be there for part of the discussion, the one will go out, and then the other one will be. If you have something particularly you want to address or something like that, you go back in there, and then somebody goes in. But that's up to you.
I'll make a motion that Chairman Rodriguez attend Mr. Hinojosa and Dr. Morales.
Well, let me just say this, okay? And I don't, I'm not trying to deprive anybody of going. You know, it's obvious the mayor's going to attend all the meetings. It's, yes, we can do it. Theoretically, we could do it where the other three of you take turns meeting. I think it, personally, we're meeting with government officials. You know, they're gonna wonder what's going on with, you know, you being at the meeting for 30 minutes and then somebody gets up and leaves. I mean, you know, we gotta realize how it makes what we're there for, the purpose of for which we're there for. In addition to that, I know that when we went the last time, we were not able to meet with the congressman during the day because he was unable to. We had to schedule a meeting that evening. So if all of you go to that meeting and there's 4 of you, you know, we have a quorum. And I know that you know, we're meeting with the congressman, and part of the night is spent discussing how our meetings went with the EPA and how they went with the State Department. So, I mean, my job is to try and keep you all out of trouble, and I'm just telling you that it's very difficult to do that if 4 of you are going to be there.
Well, then, in that case, I just go ahead, I'll attend. So keep it practical, it's not a big thing. The most important thing is that we have a group representing PUB, and it's done in a professional manner, and so I'll just...
With all due respect, the chair of the PUB should be there, or, I mean, he speaks for the PUB.
I will not be able to make it, Mr. Ramos.
I understand that.
That's what I'm saying, the vice chairman would be the ideal person.
Let me mention something that, you know, of course, we all have different schedules and everything. Right now, I have a situation with my mother that she should be okay, but I don't know what's gonna happen within the next 10 days. But I will inform Mr. Brusiak, and if that happens, which I cannot attend, then I will definitely hope that Mr. Faria is gonna attend.
Okay, that will work. Thank you.
That's fine. Go from there.
I make a motion, we approve board travel for 3 members. I don't know how the city and PUD are going to pay us for a lot of travel.
Not easy.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on any discussion and questions.
3 members of the board, and of course, staffs,
Right.
attorney, whoever else there.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Consent items. Any particular item that would like to be discussed?
Motion to approve, if it's okay, items. Well, I think we have to go one by one, right? No?
No, you can do all of them unless you're gonna not.
Motion to accept the recommendations of staff, approving some, rejecting others.
Whatever the staff recommends.
Right.
Is
Second.
that okay?
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second and discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Any public comments? No public comments? We have a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.